Hi friends, Mr. Regan here with your math lesson today. Your learning objective is that I can write base 10 three-digit numbers in unit form and show the value of each digit. Your language objective is I can orally explain the value of each digit in a three-digit number. First, we're going to start off with a little activity about what does not belong. So, looking at these license plates from the United States of America, they have all three-digit numbers. They are different colors. The digits are different colors, and it looks like these are different states. This is in Arizona. This one's in California. This state is from Arkansas. This one is from Florida. What are some other things that you notice? Remember, you can pause this video at any time and come back to it and listen to it again if you need to. But here we go. We're going to start off by talking about some of the very important vocabulary words that we're going to be learning throughout this unit. Your standard form. Standard form is just the number, just a three-digit number, two-digit number, or one-digit number, or it's just the number as it is. So the number, the standard way of writing numbers using only digits. Okay, so that's the standard form. There's 356. We have 107. Remember that here, 107 is a 0 in the tens place. That's going to be really important for you a little bit later on. The next very important vocabulary word is unit form, and that's what we're going to focus on in this lesson today. So unit form says that it is a way of writing numbers using place value units. Okay, so the unit is either the hundreds, the tens, or the ones. So here we have 3 hundreds, 5 tens, and 6 ones. So that would be that number, 356. We're also going to talk about a number bond, right? So your number bond is a mental picture of the relationship between a number and its parts that combine to make that number. So if we have 423, that's 4 hundreds, 20, and 3. So it's 4 hundreds, 2 tens, and 3 ones. That's your number bond. We're also going to talk more about using your clock and using the words AM and PM. AM is referred to usually in the morning, and it says a time between 12 midnight and 12 noon. So here there's some different pictures of things that you might be doing in the AM, right? You're still sleeping, hopefully you're sleeping, at 12 midnight, that's before it turns to AM. 8:30 a.m., you might have been getting on the bus. 10:15 a.m., here we go, we're at school, right? Or we're learning at 10:15. And at 12 noon, you're usually having lunch, okay? PM refers to the time in the afternoon or up to midnight. So that would be here, your lunchtime. PM is referred to there usually when you're going home on the bus or at nighttime before you're going to bed, right? And then sleeping, right? It's PM. So we have AM and PM. We're also going to talk about the digital clock and the analog clock. So your digital clock, the way I remember it, digital clock means it has the digits. You see the digits in your clock. So a clock that shows the time with numbers of hours and minutes, usually separated by a colon. Those are the two dots. That's a colon. So here on the clock, it says it's 12:30. And an analog clock, and that's what we've been practicing using, uses the hour hand and the minute hand, clock that shows the time by positions of the hour and the minute hand. So here on the clock, it's almost 12 o'clock. So in 5 minutes, there it would be 12 o'clock. So that's using an analog clock. Let's practice a little bit of telling time using our analog clock. What would be the digital time? What would be the number time that we would put in for this time? Here, we always want to start by looking at the hour hand. And the hour hand, it's in between the 4 and 5. So we know that the hour is probably, and I'll start writing that down, and you can remember, write it down on your whiteboard as well. So I know that my hour time is still 4, right? Because it's not 5 o'clock yet. It's still in the hour of 4. But my minute hand, how many minutes are there? And that's when we want to look at the long hand and we can count by fives. Remember, it's not 4:03, even though the minute hand there is pointing to the 3. That's counting by fives. So if I count by fives, and sometimes it's always easier to start at 4 o'clock. So if you're using your analog clock and using your practice clock to tell time, you can count now by fives. So we might have here 4 o'clock. So 4:05, 4:10, 4:15. Okay. So on my digital clock, I would write down 4:15. Okay, let's see if that was correct. Yes, that was correct. Good job. Okay, so now on your whiteboard, let's see if you can write down the next time on your clock. So again, let's start by, erase this for you, writing down your hour. What's the hour? And it looks like the shorter one, the hour hand, is in between the 6 and the 7. So that means that your hour is going to be 6 o'clock. It's not 7 o'clock yet. Okay, so then we're going to look at the minute hand, and the minute hand is pointing to the 4. It's not 6:04, but we're going to count by fives until we get to the 4. Okay, so if we started at the 12, we have 6:05, 6:10, 6:15, 6:20. Okay, so that should be the time on our clock. And there it is. Yes, good job. All right, good practice with that today. Let's move on. So here we're going to do a little bit more practice together. Here we have the standard form. Remember that your standard form was just your number, 542. We have our base 10 model. That's using our blocks, right? Using our hundreds blocks. We have rods and we have our ones. And then we have the unit form. That's going to be using the words hundreds, tens, or ones if we have numbers in those places. So here the number is 542. Let's check. We have 500s, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. We have 4 tens, 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, so remember that's the value is 4 tens. So the value of that is 40. And we have 2 ones. So 1 and 2. So we have 5 hundreds, 4 tens, and 2 ones. And let's write that down on your whiteboard or on your paper as well. So let's do this one together. So here we had our base 10 model was 300s. And over on our unit form, it says 300. So I can write that down. So my number is going to have 300s. Here it says we have 8 tens. So let's count them. We had 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. We have 8 tens. I can write that down. Okay. And now we have 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. So my number would be 385. Okay, great job. All right, let's do the next one together. This next one says it's 167. So I'm going to write that up at the top. Okay, there. And I need to make that in my base 10 model. So let's do that part together. Check up on my board here. So I'm going to make 100. Okay, and I'm going to have 6 tens. So let's count them. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. There we go. And I have 7 ones. So let's make those together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, we want to subitize. So 5, 6, and 7. So I know right away that that is 7. So for my unit form, I remember I'm going to use the words hundreds, tens, and ones. So I have 100, hundred. Okay, if we sound it out, 100. Then I had 6 tens, 6 tens, tens, and I had 7 ones. I can fit it in there. Okay, all right. So we had our standard form. Remember, that's the number. We had our base 10, okay, base 10 model, and we have our unit form. Okay, so those 3 are going to be really important, especially as we continue to use more vocabulary and show our numbers in different ways. All right, let's look at our number. Next one. So, and for This activity is called mystery numbers, and you will be doing this as a seesaw activity for your friends, and we'll talk about that part next. So you will need your whiteboard and a piece of paper, and you can take a photo of this when you have your mystery number. But let's practice some together before we go. So we have 800s, we have 0 tens, and we have 2 1s. So how could we show that in our base 10? We could show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember, those are hundreds, right? I don't have any tens, okay? And then I have 2 little baby ones, okay? So, what's going to be my number, right? I had, I have 800s, okay? I don't have any tens, so that's going to be 0. And then I have 2 ones. So my number is 802. And you might see it like that, 800, 0, and 2. But you want to be very, very careful, because let's look at the next one. So that one was pretty straightforward. That one was pretty clear. Something there to watch out. Something is going to be different. So my mystery number, it says that I have 7 ones, I have 2 hundreds, and I have 4 tens. Think about that as a base 10. Let's make those together. Let's start with the hundreds, because we know that those are going to be the biggest. So I'm going to have 2 hundreds. It says I have 4 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay? I think the order of the numbers are different. So that's going to be kind of tricky, and that's why it's maybe a mystery number. So my number is 200. I had 47. Okay, so that's going to be kind of tricky there. So watch out, as some of your classmates might try to trick you and put the hundreds second, or maybe they might even put the hundreds last, so that they might try to trick you. So watch that, watch out for that. So for your mystery number, as you post on Seesaw today, it says you're going to create your own mystery number for your classmates to answer. You will need to make a 3-digit number using the numbers 0 through 9 in the hundreds, tens, and ones places. So you could just write in the numbers right there with hundreds, tens, and ones. You might want to switch them around if you want to try to really trick your classmates, but let's see if they can catch those. All right? Then for your second activity, you're going to show the number 521 in different ways. You're going to draw your base 10, okay, base 10 model, remember your hundreds, your tens, and your ones. And then you're going to use it in unit form, okay? So you'll write 5 hundreds, 2 tens, and 1 1. All right, friends. Okay, have a wonderful day. Nice job today. Thank you.